thanks again. Just been following you on Twitter for a while and following what you've been writing and just trying to put myself in that frame of mind of being a writer like yourself, like unapologetic and just like just balls to the wall and sticking to being genuine and sticking to my guns. And that's tough. So it's really awesome to see a writer like yourself flourish the way you have been the last several years. So I just appreciate your work. Um, my first question is, how's 2020 been for you and your family?
It's been
I
awesome. It's been the time of our lives. That's how it's been.
I'm sure it's not too easy getting to sit down and write, and maybe it's different than the space you would have before. But how's it like affected your craft? All the shit you've been writing has still been bangers, but like, what's it like now? What's your headspace like now to try and deal with what's going on, take care of your family, and take care of yourself at the same time?
It took a little while to get used to in the beginning. Prior to the pandemic, I had an office that I would go to every day. So, you sort of train yourself to like move at a certain time, move in a certain way. And when you do it that way, for me anyway, when you do it that way, when you have a ritual, it's very easy to be like, okay, I go to a space, I sit down, I open the computer, that means it's time to work. And then when I'm not in that space at the computer, that means it's time for me to not work. So in the beginning, when I didn't have the opportunity to go into the office, or when I had to be working out of this space where I'm usually not working, it threw me off for a bit. It took, a few weeks probably before I was comfortable, before I like found a spot in the house where I could work, before I found a way to get the work done while everybody else was still at home. But now, we've been doing this for fucking 9 months now or whatever. It's like, all right, everybody understands how we have to move in the house for this to, be beneficial for anybody.
Let me ask you, are there things that you're finding you're coming to now? I mean, it's obvious as a result of the pandemic, there's shit going on in our minds that we hadn't been processing before, but are you finding things you're writing about now um, that are almost like radically different prior to this? Like, I'm sure prior to the pandemic, you were going in a certain direction as a writer, and this was just like a straight, I mean, pivot in a different direction. At least for me personally, and just as like an amateur writer, I, I feel like this drastic shift. So I wonder, somebody at you know, at your level, what's that like? What's that shift like?
The stuff that I was doing for work, that didn't change. The way that I approached the work didn't change. The stuff that I was writing about didn't change. Personally, I did feel like I did like my first fiction thing this year during the pandemic. I wrote this little short story. It wasn't much of nothing. It's about 3,000 or 4,000 words. Um, but I was like sort of interrogating myself after the fact, why did I want to do this? Why did I feel like doing this right now? And I think it probably had something to do with wanting to just sort of be in control of all of the parts of something. The pandemic showed up and everybody sort of I realized all of this shit can just like change very quickly. And you feel like you're in control of the way your life is moving, but really you're not. This was some shit that, you know, just sort of showed up and changed everything. And there was nothing that I could have done to prevent it. There was nothing that I could have done or could do right now to like get things to go back to normal. It makes you feel like you really aren't in control of stuff. So that's probably why I ended up doing the fiction thing. But beyond that, no, like I'm working on a book. That process is still the same. I'm working on various TV or movie things. Like that process is still the same. There hadn't been too much of a change. But I've been in this for years at this point, so it's going to be different for me than somebody who's just starting out.
Right. And then you've got the added benefit of you have a pandemic, you have an election, you've got like this corrupt administration whom you've been like super hyper critical of. And I applaud that, especially because I'm super sensitive, I'm super emotional when I put stuff out online. If somebody's got something to say, I'm just like, I'm totally, thrown out of whack. If somebody says something and they come at me some type of way, and I'm just like, what? And I get, I really get in my feelings. So seeing you be the way you are online is always just like, I'm like, yo, I wish I could be like that and just be just do and be and respond, and then would, I don't know, roll with the punches. I don't know, man. And I don't know how you got like the thick skin and the armor and stuff, but that shit has just been tough. It's been tough to be critical of everything right now and still get shit for it.
Yeah. See, the thing of it is, for me anyway, I feel the same way with you. If I read, like, this is why I've never read a review for like the past however many years. I just won't do it, of something that I've written. I don't like Google my own name because I don't want to read the bad stuff, because it does hurt. It hurts your feelings. There's no way around it. You're trying to make a thing and you put it out there, and then somebody who you have never met and you probably will never ever meet, and they're just like, this sucks. It hurts. There's no way around it. Now, that's different than if I'm like, fuck Donald Trump or whatever, and then people get mad about that. Like if they're mad about a thing that I am just like, that I believe in unquestionably, then it doesn't affect me at all. Like if, for example, people will get mad about anything on the internet. So I could just tweet right now, teachers should be paid more. And somebody, a bunch of people will be like, no, they shouldn't. They only work this many months a year, blah, and they'd like start talking shit. That type of stuff doesn't bother me because I'm not even interested in hearing any other part of this. This is what I believe. But when it's just like a thing that I've worked on, that does hurt my feelings. There's no way around it. That's just part of the job. I mean, I'm sure there are some people who it doesn't affect as much, but for me, yeah, that shit gets you. It fucking sticks you right in the heart.
I feel like I had to learn how to let go of that super quick. Teaching, I taught high school for 5 years, and so that age group, I know you taught middle school. I just think kids in general would, they're gonna test you.
They'll fucking tear you up. They'll tear you up.
The high school kids helped me learn very quick to put my shit to the side. But damn, it is a process. And just going to the teaching thing, there are battles won and lost in the classroom, but there are things about myself I was able to learn through that process. What was it like for you, looking at like your first year self and then your final year self? Like in the grand scheme of things, what was that setting like for you? How did that impact your life and your work moving forward? Because I mention it all the time, like my students are my kids. So yeah. It just never leaves you.
The main thing that I noticed from the time that I started teaching until the time that I stopped, which was 9 years later, is I figured out during that period that when there's like a thing that you want to do, like if you really want to do it, then all of the shit that's in the way, all of the little obstacles or the like bad stuff that's going to happen, it hits you differently than if it's like a thing you don't want to do. Teaching is a hard job. It's just like a straight up hard job. It's a hard thing to be good at. You have to know so much stuff. You have to be able to like read so many different situations in so many different ways. It just has to become like, you've got to fucking turn into Neo when he first starts like understanding how to see the Matrix. Like that's how you have to be able to look at things. That's how good teachers look at stuff. They just like can see all of the parts, right? And that's a really hard thing to do. And I've had other jobs where it was hard. And if I had another job where it was hard, like before I was in teaching, I was in construction. And like the first day that it got hard, I was like, fuck this job. I want to do something else, If I worked at a fast food place, the first day it got hard, I was like, fuck this job. But in teaching, I got in there. That whole first year, second year, the kids just kicked the shit out of me. But when it got hard, I didn't say, fuck this job, I'm going to find something else. It was the first time in my life I had been like, I want to get better at this. You know what I'm saying? And then I realized, oh shit, that's what it feels like when you're doing a thing you want to do.
Right.
That's a very easy way to tell. It's like why somebody in the NBA, they fucking train like crazy, and a lot of people won't do that training because it gets hard. They don't really want to do that part of it. You know what I'm saying? So that was like the main thing that I took away from teaching when I left, because I feel the same way about writing when it gets difficult, or when I'm stuck, or when I just feel like everything is kicking my ass. It doesn't make me feel like I would just want to quit. It makes me feel like I want to get better at this.
And I think and using that basketball comparison is like really appropriate. I felt that way my rookie year, my first year teaching. Felt like like in my rookie year, you know, and you're taking your licks, but then you do things that surprise people, and people are just like, "Whoa, this is really awesome! Look at this up and coming whatever, doing whatever they can." But when it got tough, I decided it was either going to be, you know, I let that get to me, or I try and persevere.
Hmm.
But you're absolutely right. This is something that takes a lot from you than you would have anticipated going into it. But speaking of basketball, we're out of the bubble, right? We're out of the
Yeah.
bubble. We already got like several cases already. I saw like several people tested positive after like December. They did a test December 2nd. Um, I don't know who they are, but several players. I'm just I don't I'm kind of I'm disappointed that that was the route. Like just go back into the public, go back into the wild. Like shit is not messed up. But considering that we're back in basketball, preseason going on now. You know, we got the Warriors and the Nets and KD after so many months, and just the rehab he's going through. He's back. Who are you looking for? Who are you looking out for? Like what's on your radar?
I want to see the guys that I've missed, you know. I've missed KD a lot. KD is he's such an interesting character in the NBA in a
Mm-hmm.
really like uninteresting way, which is a weird thing to say, or it sounds like I'm saying a mean thing. But I mean that to be a compliment. He's just somebody who I want to watch. And I want to see what happens with him in Brooklyn. I want to see him and Kyrie together. I've missed Steph a ton. I saw a video today on the internet of him like doing the pregame shooting drills or whatever. And I was just like, fuck yeah. Like I missed this part of it. I'm really excited to see those guys. And then just like on a personal level, we got some young players on the Spurs. That's my team, and I'm curious to see what this season looks like for them.
I like that word curious. I feel that way about the Spurs. Like every season, I'm curious. I'm like, there are moves that happen off season. I'm curious. What are y'all doing? I listen, man. My friends have tried to convince me. They've tried to get me on the James Harden camp, and I just can't, man. I'm not going to be able to. It's very difficult
Yeah.
for me to be to be in that camp. I know Russ is going to ball out, right? He's out, right? He's going to do his thing in Washington. What the hell is a James Harden and John Wall team like going to do? What does that look like? Well,
Dude, I have no idea. I don't even know if they're gonna ever even play a game together. You know, there's always a chance that that doesn't happen. Who knows? I have no idea. I like James Harden, but I like James Harden from far away. Like I don't want, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not gonna be my favorite player. I'm not gonna put my trust in him. I want to turn on the TV when he's on there because he's gonna do some cool shit, I think. And then that's really about it. That's as far as I want to go with him.
LeBron is my man. I'm a watcher LeBron. I've been dying on the LeBron hill since '03, since St. Vincent, same area. I've been fighting everybody constantly. I'm gonna fight everybody constantly. I promise you. I'm just gonna do that until he retires, which then I
Good,
retire.
good.
You
Do it.
know.
Do it.
But it's exciting to see. So I'm looking forward to him and AD. I mean, just terrors. I'm also excited to make fun of the Clippers. I'm excited to
Oh, yeah,
continue to make
that's
fun of the
always fun.
Clippers. Um, I think last season was great to watch, and I'm looking forward to what happens now because old boy signed that max. Paul George got that, and I'm
Yeah.
wondering what the hell is. Listen, man, I'm just excited for basketball. Um,
Yeah. Basketball's the best sport. My favorite sport.
before I let you go, I just wanted to ask you this one. I was thinking of this one like random question. You have always been a unique and just out there writer, and I was thinking, what kind of a question can I toss your way? If there was a basketball player who had turned into or who had taken on the role of one of those like the famous slasher serial killers on screen, like Mike Myers or Freddy Krueger or any of these Jason Voorhees, which basketball player do you think would be the most efficient and like quite horrifying and relentless kind of a horror flick killer to exist?
It took you a second to get there. I think. I think you. I think that's an easy question. I think that's Jimmy Butler. I think he's
What?
just. I think Jimmy Butler is just a fucking murderer. He's just unafraid of everybody. We watched him all in the bubble when he decided, you know what, I'm fucking cutting everybody's head off, and that's what he did. And he went out there, and it's not gonna be like a delicate thing. It's not gonna be like and you're dead. He's on some Leatherface, I'm putting the chainsaw into your chest, clubbing you with the bunk over the head. Like, he's that kind of killer. That's gotta be my guy. I love Jimmy Butler right now. He was so much fun.
Man, the Heat in general too. Just I'm all my folks are from Miami, so and when LeBron's in the finals, yo, they were coming at me, and I was just like, yo, don't worry, this game is gonna be over. After Jimmy Butler brings it back, I'm like, yo, don't worry, this game's gonna be over. So Bam and them do it again, y'all, don't worry. So I think it's gonna be really awesome to watch. I would have just thought Giannis. I know, he's got his.
He's not scary
Look,
yet. He's not scary yet. Nobody's afraid of Giannis in the playoffs. There was never a time where they were like, oh, what do we do about Giannis? Everybody knew what to do. You fucking back off 4 feet, 5 feet from him and let him shoot.
I know.
Nobody was afraid.
I feel like because there's so much riding on this season, we could either find out that he's that killer, or it's just like, oh shit, bro. I guess
that's what I hope. I hope that's what it is. But we were talking about James Harden. James Harden had that great shot at Giannis when he said, I wish I could just fucking be 7 feet tall and dunk it all the time. But I have to learn how to play basketball.
I have to work.
Yeah.
I have to work for mine. All right. I mean, shoot. I don't know. When he said that, I was feeling some type of way.
Yeah. I'm not scared. I'm not scared of Giannis. I'm scared of Jimmy Butler.
Yo, that Jimmy Butler, I mean, shoot. Yeah. That Jimmy Butler shit, that hit me.
So it's like there are NBA players who are better than other NBA players, but are less scary. James Harden is a perfect example. James Harden is one of the 5 best basketball players on the planet. 5 best. And nobody's afraid of him in the playoffs. Not a person. I would much rather play James Harden than Jimmy Butler. Even though Jimmy Butler is levels below where James Harden is. There's just something there. There's just something that happens when the game starts and the lights come on, and you just see it in their faces. Or we might be projecting it at this point, but I'm just not afraid. I'm not afraid of Harden or Giannis. I'm afraid of LeBron.
Let me ask you though, that the Chicago days, the Philly days of Jimmy Butler, this is not a Jimmy Butler we've seen like that. Like this Miami Heat Jimmy Butler, they've tapped into something.
It's different. It's different.
I'm just, again, I feel you, and I know it's probably shit going on in the background, but Chicago, this Heat Jimmy Butler reminds me of like a Chicago Jimmy Butler, but with a whole lot more to prove. And I think he's exhausted. He's tired of not getting that. You know what I mean? A lot of people sleeping on him still, even after this playoff performance, which is surprising. But I don't know, man. I want to see what happens this season, this playoff as well. See if he responds the same way, because you got people like Giannis trying to prove something. Look, man, Giannis.
I hope it's a big season for Giannis.
Giannis is going to be that killer, bro. Just think about me if he has that moment where he's going to kill someone. Even when he successfully kills someone, just remember, look, I'm thinking of that moment. I'm also excited about like LaMelo and Ja and these young dudes who are just going to be tearing it up. LaMelo, I know, has got like a lot more hype and stuff, but let's see if maybe he gives us something to talk about. Shea, I appreciate it, man. I know you got like a super busy schedule. I just appreciate again to talk to you again. I'm just a huge fan of your work, and I'm just looking forward to the stuff you got going on. What can like fans look out for? Anything you could talk about? Anything you want to plug?
I don't have anything right now. I mean, I got the book that'll come out next year, but that's not until October. But that's where like all of my energy is going at this particular moment. Mm-hmm. So I don't have anything. I was excited to talk to. I started following y'all's work anyway a while ago. Like, I don't know when it was, a bit back, and I saw the email and I was like, oh shit, this is cool, because so often I get the emails. They're like, hey, let's talk, blah blah blah. Okay, cool. And then I get on and it's always a white face on the other end. Like, yeah, man. Oh, this will be neat to not be that.
I know for a while, like while I was working on the interviews, I knew like I had you in my mind for a while, but I didn't want to just be some random dude who hadn't built up, the street cred. I know that goes a longer way when you've been able to work with folk. And so, yeah, man, and I've been trying, and especially getting to speak to other writers and creators of color, and it's invigorating, it's refreshing. So I appreciated getting to do that much. Especially with all the stuff we got coming out, like the Disney and Marvel stuff. I know we didn't get to talk about that, but maybe when we got more time, we can chop up like the Star Wars, Marvel shit.
Are you a big Star Wars guy?
Listen,
Is that your
Now,
thing?
listen, don't. It is, and I will fight people on the prequels too. Like I'm that serious about it. Like I dig episodes 1, 2, and 3, and if people want to come at me some type of way, I ain't having it. But Star Wars, yeah, I love that shit, man.
The very first Star Wars movie that I ever saw in my life was Phantom Menace. It was
Mm-hmm,
like in a theater, and
mm-hmm.
and we went, and I fell asleep while it was going. Like I just straight up fell asleep.
Yeah, we gonna
I was like,
fight.
I don't know if this is, I don't know if this is for me. I don't know if this is it. I did what the one part that I did like though, I really thought it was cool is I don't know the characters' names.
Mhm.
I know Darth Maul, but Darth Maul and Liam Neeson are fighting.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
talking about?
yeah,
They're
yeah.
doing the big fight, and I don't know where they are. I don't like they're on a ship or a corridor or something. But while they're fighting, they end up in that like hallway where the room things
Mm-hmm.
come and it separates them. And I thought it was just so cool when the thing room separated them, and then Darth Maul is just fucking stalking back and forth
Right.
like a lion, and Liam Neeson just fucking sits down and chills out for a second, and I was like, that's cool. I really like that. I really like that. Maybe I should watch more Star Wars movies. And then I didn't. I didn't.
Listen, man, you are. It's necessary viewing. That's all I gotta say.
Oh,
Especially like,
I've seen them. I've seen them. I've seen them.
oh
I've seen them.
man, but they still didn't. They didn't hit for you. Like it's not. It's not like. Were you
I
like a
was
Lord of the Rings guy too?
I was
Or
really excited when Oscar Isaac showed up, and I was like, yeah, John
yes,
Boyega, yeah,
yeah.
this is cool. This is fun. And the older stuff, you know, you go back and you watch that. I probably watched it when I was a kid and just didn't remember it. It was like
Mm-hmm.
probably a thing my dad had show me. But we did the thing where you like watch them all in order, and it's fun. It's like a
Mm-hmm.
fun thing to do. I'm more of a like Fast and the Furious guy. If we're talking about movie franchises,
Listen,
I think Fast and the Furious is probably the greatest movie franchise that we have ever
I
gotten.
don't. I don't know if you've seen or I don't know if you like follow video game news at all, but like a few days ago was the video game awards, and they were dropping trailers for new movies. Sorry, new games and stuff. And there's this new game coming out. My friends and I got super hyped for it, and Vin Diesel pops up. It's not a racing game. It's not. There's no cars. There's no. It's literally like your cave person. It's primitive technology, and Vin Diesel's character pops up, and we're like, "What the hell is
Yeah,
going on?
yeah,
Like, what did we? Is this the new
yeah.
Fast and Furious? Like, listen, I love that franchise. My wife is fed up with me like wanting to put it on or like Tokyo. If I ask to put on Tokyo Drift again, she's gonna kill me. But that
Dude,
man,
I lost my fucking mind when Han showed up in the new
yeah,
trailer. I was like
yo,
straight up making noises in my house.
it's
Like,
got the it's got the
yeah,
Marvel vibes. It's got vibes like a Marvel saga because of just how much time we've invested in this. Like
yeah.
we watched Old Boy from
It's
like a
20 years.
oh my gosh. So it hits. And my cousins who are like 18, 19, just getting into cars, I'm just like, if y'all aren't watching this right now, then just put away your cars, put away whatever you're working on. You need to watch this series, learn something from your elders, because this is what we had growing up, you know? Um, I'm curious when they're ever gonna bring Old Boy from Tokyo Drift back. Tokyo Drift is for me that's my favorite one, and then everything else is different order depending on my mood.
Yeah.
But like shit.
Tokyo Drift is is a movie where it's like it's either at the very top of someone's list or it's near the very
Or
bottom.
exactly.
It's never in the
I
middle.
swear.
It's never in the middle.
But
That's like the litmus test right there.
no, and man, dude, in 4 and 5, yo, in 4 and 5, in the like rescue scene and the heist scene, and you've got like when they're in the favela and the safe, when they're
Yeah.
dragging the safe, like bro.
Five was the turning point. Five was when they were like, we have the formula down.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
were approaching it in part 4. They kind of had it.
Mm-hmm.
Part 5, they fucking nailed it.
Nail it.
When
Nail it.
the when the movie book came out, movies and other things came out last year. You have to do like a press run or whatever. You have to do all these interviews and go to different cities and do book signings. But as part of the press tour that I was doing, I did an interview with Jen Yamato from the LA Times.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, hey, meet me. She sent me an address. Meet me here at this time. And I said, all right, cool. I had flown out to LA. I was there doing some other stuff. And I put the address in and the Uber drops me off. And it was fucking at the outside of the shop from the Fast and the Furious where like Brian goes and gets the tuna sandwich.
No
That's where she had me
way.
meet, where it was the fucking coolest thing. on my life.
Yo, that is
I was
so
so
dope.
excited. And then we just sat out there. There's like a bench, and it's like a big cross section. There's just fucking burnout marks all through there because everybody comes through, and you have to do that when you're there. But that was fucking really
Yo,
cool.
that would have made me
Shout out
tear up.
Jen. Yeah, it
Oh
was like it was
man.
very overwhelming. I was like, oh, I got there like when I realized where it was. I got there fucking like 45 minutes early just to walk
Oh my
around and
God. Yeah.
soak it in because you could see their house, Dominic Toretto's house, and like
What?
the shop and everything. It was great. It was really really cool.
Best driver. Who do you think is like if you take an NBA player, drop him in Fast and Furious? Who's the guy with the moves? And I don't mean like a Tyrese. I mean like a Dom or Brian.
Somebody who's like actually gonna be good at driving.
Yeah, or if you want to like equate their skill set, who might be an elite driver? Because I think of like a Damian Lillard. I feel like would be like an elite kind of driver.
He would probably be pretty good. I imagine he would be good. I think you need somebody if you're trying to fill like a Dominic Toretto type role though. You need somebody who's got a couple rings on their fingers.
Mm. Oh yeah.
Dominic,
Oh shit. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I mean, the easiest pick there is to go LeBron. It's like LeBron can be the Dominic of whatever. He's just sort of like bringing people in. We're part of the family. We're doing this or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know why that made me laugh though, man. Just seeing seeing LeBron as Dominic Toretto just pull
I
up.
would love to see LeBron show up in a Fast and the Furious movie. I think he would fit right in. Besides being like a fucking foot taller than everybody.
I'm saying, but then it's like, what do they have him do? What is he coming out of? What is he coming out of? That's the question.
If you could have Jin, remember Jin, the rapper Jin?
Oh yeah, Jin, Too Fast, Too Furious.
If you can have Jin in the movie, you can fucking figure out where to put LeBron. You just but he's not a mechanic, right? He's not. This dude isn't. He's not gonna have a big part. It's gonna be like when they show up at race wars and everybody's hanging out and he's just there. Oh, what up, Dom? It's gonna be something like that. He's not gonna be part of the team, but there you go.
And then we can have Vin Diesel in Space Jam. That's the obvious cameo right there.
Yeah, drop him in.
Look, man, I had a ball. I really did. I love chopping it up with you. It would be great in the future work you've got coming out to get to cover that for Nerds of Color as well. We want to continue to showcase, really elite folks of color who are just killing it.
Yeah, if y'all don't put it up, I'll be very offended. I'm going to call racism against Mexicans. The Nerds of Colors are racist. To start a whole war. It's going to be like fucking the prison fight and blood in, blood out, where it's just blacks and Mexicans are fucking killing each other.
Hey, Shea, man, you're the man. I appreciate it. You really made my year. I'm excited to put this interview up, man.
All right, homie. You be safe out there.
You too, boss.